Hello and welcome to another episode of SqEngineering. I'm Sprutis, and in today's episode the goal is to mount the two fuel hoses that we pressure tested in the last episode. And that's not as easy as it may seem. The feed needs to be connected to the fuel filter so I can make sure that the connection is good. And then we need to get the line in all of the brackets and then connect it out in the engine bay. And sure, it sounds simple, but it will take me some time. So basically install the feed line, the return line, and the fuel filter. And then depending on what time it is, there will either be assembling the fuel return from the fuel pressure regulator to the ethanol content sensor, or starting to assemble the fuel pump hanger. We will see. The options are many. And just to put some extra pressure on me, because why not? I don't have enough pressure from everything else already. Yeah. I booked a time for MOT inspection. Today is Tuesday and the inspection is on next Friday afternoon. So that is a bit stressful, but I think it's positive stress. And the thing is, I haven't paid for it, so in case I need to cancel it, it's not the end of the world. But I feel that I have few enough sub projects left in order to get my Supra running. So it would be nice to do the inspection, because then I don't need to inspect it for another 2 years. And also it's more convenient when the spring comes and I can go out driving. Then I don't need to compete with everyone else who is stressed about getting their vehicles approved, MOT approved for the summer. So that's a bit convenient, because then we have a lot of projects to redo and finish and start up and whatever during the winter. But yeah, one step at a time. So what we need to do in order to finish or get ready for the MOT is finish the fuel system, with the exception of no electrical connections required, basically. So the fuel pressure sensor I have in the fuel rail will not be connected. The ethanol content sensor will not be connected. So not that much. And what else? We need to reinstall the fuel tank then, of course. Install the drive shafts, do a torque check on all the fasteners in the suspension that I've removed, reinstall the passenger seat, reinstall the ECU, take care of the ABS sensors. My prototypes, they need to be tested. So that's another thing. If they work well, then I can move on to the next version during the winter and improve on it and so on. So yeah, not that much. So let's go. And I almost forgot, we need to reinstall the power steering pump, and I don't have a power steering fluid reservoir. I haven't built one, so I will need to reuse the old one, try to clean it out as good as I can, and then make an adapter from the not pipe fitting, but the normal hose connection to AN10. So yeah, I will see if I have the possibility to weld something up at work. That would be convenient. more convenient than getting everything out here. So yeah, now back to the fuel system. So in order to protect the hose ends at least a bit, and while working with them underneath the car, I put these plastic bags, but I will still make sure that I don't swoosh them around and ding them up, so that they keep their appearance scratch free. One hose is already under the car, so I will do the other one and then filter. So I added a bit of thread locker just to well, for some extra insurance. I realize now that I've twisted that one. Maybe that's okay, I don't know. So let's install this. The fuel filter is in place, but I need to take it down because I forgot to tighten that AN8 fitting. But I will actually make the feed line, so the one that connects to that fitting, which will sort of wrap around over the differential and go to the fuel tank. And then take this down and tighten the fittings properly. And here we have that feed line. So we have the 150-degree bend connecting to the fuel filter, and it's roughly 1 meter. And what I have left is more than 1 meter, so if something goes wrong, I still have the possibility to correct my mistake. But the idea is that this will wrap around the differential, but be short enough so that it can't, even if it's forced, it can't touch the drive shafts. And also, since it's going in a loop, that means that I can sort of make the radius smaller, which will make it easier to install the fitting while I'm lifting up the fuel tank. So I have the plier or the cutter in here, so I will create this AN8 hose, and then we can install it, maybe, let's say, for semi-good. So as you can see, we now have both ends of the fuel filter connected. The bracket is tight on the car. All connections are tight. And we then have some lines running underneath the car. And I've been working in the engine bay. And here I've connected the 60-degree AN6 fitting for the return from the ethanol content sensor, and I've also fitted the 180-degree AN8, which is for the feed. So currently it's Bluetooth between the fuel pressure regulator and the ethanol content sensor, but we will fix that shortly. But first, all the brackets underneath. I don't suspect that you recognize this pipe, but this was the stock fuel feed that I used for ventilation of the fuel tank, and this was also the piece that was hanging down in the rear of the engine compartment. So I used this pipe cutter, and it's really convenient because you pull on this, which gives you a ratchet function. Let's see if I can demonstrate it, like so. So it's very easy to use in small tight spaces, and then it clicks back into original position and you can adjust it. So this, I think I bought this for at least 10 years ago, and yeah, it was I bought it by mistake because it couldn't take it was something wrong, I don't remember, but it ended up just lying in my toolbox. But recently I've had some need for it, which turned out great. I also have a normal pipe cutter somewhere, but it's really convenient to have the ratchet function. And then this tool for AN fittings. I made some marks on it, but this is bought at Speeding, and as you can see we have the shape of the fitting. So also when you're in semi-tight spaces, you can just hang this on whatever you're tightening, and then use more of a normal crescent wrench to tighten it, and you don't really have to worry about this one falling down or anything like that, which this one would do. This one is not mine, it's Philips, the guy with the Miata and Honda engine, but it's kind of funny because you see here's the marking for the size, it moves, but on the other side they printed the marking in the same place, so when you adjust it, it stays stationary, of course, because it's printed on the wrong part, but still. So it's like the Chinese t-shirt I have, which I only bought because it was the print is mirrored. But yeah, this works quite well anyway, but this is really nice. So it's nice to be able to buy quality tools when I need them. I don't buy much of them, but this was a good investment. Also, using these purpose-built tools will save the anodizing and so on. And another thing that showed up today, when I came out from my home, I saw a package and I thought, what have I bought? And then I realized that it's my rivet nut tool. So you place this cylinder onto here and you tighten it with this one, so that will lock into this dimple, and then you can use whatever tool you feel like, either an electrical one or a crescent wrench or anything. I was thinking about building one myself, but this was quite cheap on Amazon, and yeah, we already have the bearings in it, both for the shaft and for the rotation, so it was very convenient to buy it. And also I have a lot of different sizes. What I intended to use this for was to add extra nuts to mount my fuel hanger brackets on, the ones I 3D printed, but turned out that I don't really need that. But this is anyway good to have, so also a convenient box, so that's good. And let's have a look under the car. So as you can see, no extra pipe is hanging down, and we have the lines installed. And also here I placed an extra one just to have some tension when it's going over the hump, because I didn't feel like having extra fittings in the middle of the picture right now, and also here in the middle of the picture. That would be too bulky, so by stretching it like so, I think it's a good compromise. And also this actually hangs down less than what it did with my previous setup. And then if we continue, we come up here and we have a 90-degree, so the one next to the stainless pipe and the brake line, that's the feed, and the one on the second level in the middle of the picture right now is the return. That one just ends on the back of the diff, and then the looped one is the feed from the tank to the filter. And you can also see the extra mount I have in the middle of the picture right now. So that one is only holding the ventilation pipe, brake line and fuel feed. I think that's enough. The reason for that is the AN6 line is too short, so it will the fitting will end up in a complicated area. So I will have another solution for that. And we are now looking from the rear of the car. You see the differential in the middle and one hose coming out, and that is the feed. Hopefully that one is short enough for what I intend to, for how I intend to route it. We will see. So what you can't see is the return from the main line going under the car and connecting to the fuel tank. So we still need to finish that one. And we still need to finish the one between the fuel pressure regulator and ethanol content sensor. And if you look down here, it's quite tight between the steering shaft and the return. So I will have to make something so that it stays away from it. So we have zero contact in between. Maybe you can also see in the middle of the picture right now, we have the connection I made from the stainless pipe to the stock pipe that I used for tank ventilation. So I just added a hose and 2 clamps. So we are moving forward with this. That's nice. So that also means that the goal or the mission for this episode or this work shift in the garage is accomplished, meaning the main fuel lines are installed, and I actually made one extra fuel line. The filter is installed. Yeah, so 2 days in a row where the mission is accomplished. We will see if we can do the same in the next one. So stay tuned for that. Thank you very much for watching. Please comment, like and subscribe. Stay safe. Take care. Bye bye.